Hey guys, what's up? Hunt Fitness. Back with the flexible dieting series. I know, it's been a long time since I have brought the flexible dieting series videos up on the channel. But we got a great topic here. And that is, do you have to weigh your food? Or how important is weighing your food? I'm going to keep it real with you guys, because you guys know I love to keep it real. Weighing your food is a pain right in the ass. It is a pain in the ass. I mean, especially when you've never done it before. Now for me, you know, I've been doing this for a while, and it's not really a big deal for me because I just basically get in the habit of weighing most things, so I don't even really think about it. But working with hundreds of clients every year and getting them onto this program of where I recommend weighing and tracking your food, I know the struggles. So we're going to talk about that. Just how important it is and some little pointers. First off, I'm just going to say, probably the only downside of the flexible dieting, you know, way of eating, I guess I should say, is in order for it to be effective, you have to track things very meticulously and be very accurate. Pretty accurate. Not necessarily very accurate, but pretty accurate. In order for it to work, in order for to be successful from it. Estimating is alright in some instances. But here's my recommendations. Don't estimate a damn thing until you have weighed out almost everything consistently for a few weeks. So let's say you never weighed anything in your life. You've just eyeballed or just ate whatever. You just eat there. You're a clean eater. So since you eat clean, you don't follow those macros. What, bro? All foods have macros. So even if you just eat clean and don't even track a damn thing, you're still eating flexible dieting, just not being flexible. But for the point of the video, if you've never tracked anything or weighed anything out ever, once you start, stick to it for we'll say 2 weeks. 100% weigh everything out 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks you should have a decent idea of what different things weigh, and to be able to kind of estimate serving sizes and whatnot. But until you've done that, don't even try. Don't even try to estimate. You'll be way off. So once you're at that point where you can kind of estimate things, if you're not being super strict on a fat loss phase, such as like a pre-contest diet or get ready for a photo shoot, or you're a high-level athlete and want to take things to the absolute max and get that last little bit of performance increase, weighing out everything might not be 100% necessary if you're decent at being able to estimate stuff. Now mind you, there's going to be a few guidelines here. One, fat sources. Always measure them. Because we'll use peanut butter for an example. I know people have they have a hard time with peanut butter. They'll sit down and eat a whole jar of it pretty easily. Each tablespoon, a serving is 2 tablespoons, and a serving, so 2 tablespoons is about 200 calories. So 1 tablespoon is 100 calories. So if you just estimate it, and let's just say you're a half of a tablespoon off, that's 50 calories off. And half of a tablespoon is not much. Like if you just take a spoon and think, I'm getting 2 tablespoons, there's a good chance you're probably half a tablespoon off. So you're probably 50 calories off every single time you eat peanut butter. On the flip side, something like green veggies, broccoli, green beans, asparagus, stuff like that, some people don't even track it. Me, I do track it, and I recommend tracking it, but at the same time, I'm not a stickler with it, and I rarely ever. You will never see me weighing broccoli. I just don't do it. I estimate broccoli every single time. I just track it as a serving or 2, depending on how much I had. And the reason is, if you say you put down you had a cup of broccoli, which is like 5 grams of carbs, 20 calories, and you are off 100%, so you have 2 cups, you're 20 calories different. 5 grams of your 5 grams of carbs different, and 2 or 3 of which was fiber. So I mean, and that's a huge ass difference. Like, I mean, you're gonna be able to tell if you had 1 cup or 2 cups. It's not like a half a tablespoon, or it's not like, well, I put 2 extra broccoli florets in there or something. So we have that. Fat sources, always. Green veggies, you don't even have to really even weigh them. You can just estimate them. Carbs. Now, carbs are something that are generally just pretty easy to measure anyways. For like oatmeal. When you're making oatmeal in the morning, that's pretty easy to measure. You need to measure it out almost anyways just to make it correctly. And rice, the same way. Potatoes can kind of be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I just cook them up and then weigh them. Which brings me to another point, cooked versus raw food, and what you should weigh. We'll get to that in a second. Think about the flexible dieting style. So let's say you're eating a Pop-Tart. You don't even have to measure anything. You get the macros right for you. Anything like that. Not saying that, oh, you should eat processed foods because the macros are all listed out for you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you don't have to worry about it. Whereas other foods you do. For meat, this one's a little bit tricky. I mean, meat's the easiest thing to eyeball. I mean, once you've been doing this for a while, you can eyeball meat probably the easiest. I still weigh it out probably 90% of the time, but you know, I don't always do it. And I'm pretty accurate on meat, and I think most people can be if they've been doing this for a while. So, raw versus cooked, and how you should measure this. I get this question a lot. Really, the bottom line is, as long as you're consistent, so every time you have chicken, you weigh it raw or you weigh it cooked out, it doesn't matter. Just be consistent 100% of the time. So every time you measure oatmeal, it's cooked. You know what I mean? Every time you measure rice, it's cooked. You know what I mean? It's consistency that's key. Just measure it the same way every single time. But I'm going to share with you what I do. Meat, I just weigh it cooked. It's just easier. It's easier for me to be consistent that way. And I cook up a bunch of meat and then I'll just weigh it out and eat it, you know. For carbs, normally it's cooked, except for oatmeal. Obviously, I'll just take raw oats and measure it out in a bowl before cooking it. Rice, potatoes, I do cooked. But, I mean, as far as this video goes, it's, again, we're just going to kind of go full circle here. And weighing your food is definitely part of a flexible dieting approach. But it's really just about being accurate. And the biggest reason why it's important is for adjustments. If you don't know how much food you're eating and how many exact calories and macronutrients you're taking in, how can you make any adjustments? You don't know how many carbs you're taking in. How can you say, when you're not losing fat, all right, well, I need to subtract 20 grams of carbs from my diet? You can't, because you don't know how many carbs you're taking in. That's why being accurate is so important. But again, part of being a flexible dieting, let's not mind fuck ourselves and get so worried about, you know, having a scale at every single meal. So if you go out to eat, you can't just estimate what you had. Or if you're at a friend's house or out doing something without your scale, don't lose it. I mean, you know, we'll be saying we're flexible dieters. We don't worry about meal timing, but I'll tell you what, if we don't have our damn scale, we're going to have a hell of a time eating. No. Being flexible. Yeah, it's good to be very accurate, as accurate as possible when it's convenient. But if it's not convenient, estimate. And that's why it's important to at least get that little grace period in where you are very, very accustomed to knowing what things weigh. And you can actually estimate accordingly. But that's about it, guys. That's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to get this video out there because I get that question a lot. And, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's important. It's part of the flexible dieting lifestyle. But, again, be flexible. Thanks, guys. Peace.